Huh.
Hey guys, it's Dane at Jonah Guitars, and I got a brand new build series I'm going to start uploading. It's about this guy right here, the GECKO, and all of the whole process of building will be covered. It's going to be a very complete series. So I hope you join me, and we'll see you there. I'm waiting for some filler. Ordered the Timbermate product. I talked about trying that possibly on the next build. I thought, why not just try it on the neck? Still not terribly excited about the sheetrock mud with colorant in it. It worked. I think the demos I've seen on the Timbermate seem like it works a little better, so I'm going to give that a shot. I went on to the neck. You remember, it's going to be earlier in these videos. I don't remember exactly where that was at, but I did a preliminary level on the fretboard, and with the intention of getting it built, getting it strung up, and then setting the neck straight in the neck jig, and doing the final fretwork there. And I thought, you know what the heck, let's level the thing all the way. Crown and polish these things and get it done. And if put it together and I string it up and it plays great, I don't have to screw with it. So I'm all for that. This is a compound radius, if you recall, 9.5 to 16, and with the EVO frets. And so I went ahead and I rechecked my leveling, and then went ahead and crowned and polished all these guys. And as you can see, they look good. So anyway, that's where I'm at. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and rough out a net for this. Like I said, I'm waiting for grain filler. I'm going to sand the neck out again up to 320, and then grain fill, and then oil it. And like I mentioned previously, I'll put the neck in the body, pretty much tape off the areas that I don't want oil on, or grain filler for that matter, and then do all that work, and then peel the tape off, and then glue it in the body, and then I'll be ready pretty much to finish this thing up, get the tuners in it. There's a peg head after it was all buffed out and finished up. I think you might have seen that already. Anyway, very, very happy with the outcome on that, and so I'm pretty happy with the way everything's been turning out on this, so I'm a happy guy. Oh, while I'm here, mentioned this before too, when I was sanding the neck, some of the fill on the end of the frets and the darker the rosewood, I guess it sunk in, and so some of the lighter dust got in the ends of those slots. So I'm going to be picking those out and refilling the ends with rosewood dust. And anyway, so that's some stuff I'm just kind of filling with while I'm waiting for grain filler to show up, and then I'll do that and we'll get moving on with this thing, get it put together, get it wired up. Hey folks, we're back here. We're going to work on the neck. I mentioned earlier that I've got some of the lighter sanding dust kind of got pushed into the ends of the fret slots where apparently the rosewood had sunken in when I filled those. So we'll be popping that lighter dust out, sanding some more ebony dust out of a piece of rosewood that I use in the fretboard, and then gluing some more ebony in. Then after that's done, I'll get to finish sand this neck and do some grain fill. on that. I did get the Timbermate filler in, and I'm going to be testing that out on the neck, which is two porous woods with the Spanish cedar and the lacewood. So we'll see how that works on those woods. Yeah, so let's bring you on down. Now I got this vise. I got to adjust the screen so I can actually see. All right, so here we go. This vise, and you may or may not have seen another video where I open this up. But it's a pair of vise. I got it from Grizzly for a better price than I found it on Amazon, and decided this was a good place for it. I was wondering if I was going to find uses for this thing, and I just mounted the vise, and this just was like, wow, this is what I need to do, and this is perfect. So, first things, I'll bring you in a little bit maybe. These are already open right here. They didn't get filled. So I mixed them all together on the first run through. So all the way down to here, and then we've got some lighter dust in there. So I don't know how I missed all these, but I sure did. I knew I was planning on coming back, so maybe I just got lazy here. These don't look like they ever got filled, so maybe I filled the other side and not this one. Yeah, these don't even have any dark, so maybe I just totally confused myself and thought I filled these when I actually didn't. I don't know. I'll have to flip it over to find out if maybe I did the other side. But, so, okay, well, so we can just act like it never happened because it didn't. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to turn the video off and actually fire up my little compressor and blow the dust out of these so I don't have any stuff lingering behind her. So we'll be back. All right, back. Got all the all the dust blown out of the fret ends here. Going to make some rosewood dust here. Yeah, I'm sparing you from doing the whole pile of that, just time-wise. So I took my file card, which is a little wire brush, and cleaned my sandpaper block out before I started, so I didn't have different lighter colors of wood mixing in with this dust. And I'm just prepping my CA here. So this is thin CA. I use the Type Bond. The bottles, they're a little bit of a, well, I bent that under, great. They're a little bit of a struggle getting these tips on because they're bigger than the StewMac ones. And StewMac is the only source I've been able to find these whip tips from. So actually I was just putting that in there to straighten the edge up, but I think I'm going to go ahead and stretch that opening too while I'm at it, and make that a little easier to get on there. Well, might have to carve this down a little bit. Sometimes if it gets extra glue on it, they don't want to go on. Alright, well, that is really giving me grief. Okay, I lost it. So I'm just going to take my X-Acto and just carve the edge of the bottle down a little bit, and I'll be able to put that tip on. And once I do that, I'll bring you back in because I don't want to waste your time looking for that. Alright, bottle is set up. So, bring you back in here again. I'm not sure you can see what's going on. Alright, so just going to take a bit of rosewood dust and put it in the gap that's at the end of the fret. Same thing on that one. Break it down to the next one. So there's 3 of them. I'm putting my visor back on so I can see how well those are filling. Okay, I'm going to put a little more. Actually, I want to end up a little proud here so I have something to sand off. Okay, so just a little drop CA there, more than a drop. Wow, I need paper towel. That was more like it on that one. Kind of get the bubble going first and then touch down. Do a few more. All right. If you just touch it with the paper towel, it kind of wicks up into the towel and doesn't run down your fretboard or anything. You can see I smeared that one in because I touched it with the tip and it pulled it out. So you kind of just got to see what you're doing as you go and adjust. You can see I'm getting, well, if I can find the camera. Yeah, it's not focusing. Yeah, you can't really tell. I'm getting black on the end of my whip tip there from touching the rosewood dust. And I'm using super glue or CA, and depending on what type of fill you're doing, you don't really want to use super glue because it will darken the wood that you're filling with. But in this situation, it's such a small little line that it's just not noticeable. So that's why I'm not worried. If it was a larger fill and it was somewhere that was more in the line of sight, I guess, I would probably use wood glue if depending, I don't know, high glue possibly, something that isn't really going to change the color once it's dry. But sometimes the CA will push it kind of dark, and then you've got to, I used it on the, if you remember the 74 Les Paul, that was, all super glue. And it turned out, actually, there was a lot of fill on that fretboard, and it turned out looking really good. So, probably if you're worried, the best thing to do is do a test and see, if it's going to give you the result you're after. I don't bother testing this because I've done so many fret ends. I've filled so many fret ends like this, and it's always worked out really well that I don't have to do a test. Worry about it. I know it's going to work out. I need to zoom out before I get to my face. That would be shocking. All right, folks. So I'm just going to go out down the board and I'll sand those out. And then, like I said, I'll finish sand that. I'll bring you back in when I'm doing some grain fill on this. See how that Timbermate stuff works out for me.